Right, we'll start with football, and the English Premier League have finally made a decision and have confirmed that the season will be suspended until April the 4th due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now, the decision follows the announcement that in the last 24 hours, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta tested positive for the virus, as well as Chelsea's Callum Hudson-Odoi, who became the first Premier League player to contract the virus. But the winger says he's already started to recover.
Hi guys, as you may be aware, I had the virus for the last couple of days, which I've recovered from. I'm following the health guidelines and self-isolating myself from everybody for the week. I hope to see everybody soon and hopefully be back on the pitch very soon. Take care.
Okay, so Oliver Reagan joins us from outside the Emirates Stadium in London. Oliver, thanks for joining us. Have there been any developments since the last time we've spoken?
Well, we just continue to hear from all the 20 Premier League clubs with their reaction really to the news that they're not going to be playing football at the very earliest till April time. And it really has been unanimous support. I think at this stage, everybody's putting public health above the likes of football. You've had every manager coming out and supporting the Premier League's moves. And I think that that really is testament to the fact that the Premier League has come together now, finally. There's been some criticism. The likes of Gary Neville have come out, the former Manchester United player, saying that he can't believe it took a Premier League manager to become ill with coronavirus for the league to react. But even if they can be criticised for perhaps acting a little bit late, they are following the UK government advice, and it seems that it's got full support now of pretty much every single Premier League club and all the players as well.
Well, I suppose, what was the actual decision behind the Premier League taking so long to get to this decision? I mean, Gary Neville's kind of right. It's like it shouldn't take one of the players or managers to get ill. You should think about the public, really.
Yes, but of course they're following the UK government guidelines that have been passed down by the government, by Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, and by the Chief Medical Advisor to the government, and they still remain the same. That mass sporting events are not banned. There's no restriction on holding games. There's Cheltenham Festival has taken place today with thousands upon thousands of people attending. The Six Nations was going to go ahead. We've now heard that Wales and Scotland match has been cancelled, but the government is waiting at the moment. Their strategy is that cancelling large sporting occasions needs to happen in a few weeks' time, not now. But the Premier League really were left with no choice because just so many of the players were starting to show symptoms. They'd been in contact with Arsenal players. The manager of Arsenal, as you've mentioned, Mikel Arteta, had contracted the disease. So the Premier League were left with no choice. They've now made their own decision, but they were simply following the government guidelines until they were pretty much forced to change their minds this morning.
And of course, the English Football League has been suspended, along with the Women's Super League, until April as well. Look, in regards to the Premier League, what happens if they can't reschedule the games? I mean, do Liverpool still win the title?
Well, that's the big question on everybody's lips, and of course there's some fans of various football clubs highly invested in this, and nobody really wants to contemplate the thought at the moment. The intention from everybody involved is that the season will be completed in the summer, and that really does depend on the Euro 2020 championships being now postponed for a year, which we're expecting to happen when UEFA holds an extraordinary meeting on Tuesday, including all the 55 different nations, where the Euro championships will be, whether it will be decided whether that is postponed. So that is the key factor, really. If that's postponed, then there's room in the calendar to finish the season. It's not worth thinking about if the season really isn't finished. Liverpool are so far ahead that I think there'd be a strong argument to say that they would deserve to win the Premier League title. But at the moment, I don't think there's anybody here in the UK contemplating the fact that the season won't finish, even though there is obviously a chance that that might happen.
Well, to be fair to Liverpool, they've been waiting 30 years for this moment. Oliver, thank you so much for joining us today. Right, it's the decision motorsports fans have been dreading. The coronavirus pandemic has pushed Formula One to suspend its 2020 season until May. Just days after travelling to Melbourne, a McLaren member tested positive for the disease that prompted the British team to withdraw from the Australian Grand Prix. And naturally, the sport's governing body followed suit, postponing the race. But with health concerns increasing every day, the following GPs in Bahrain and Vietnam have also been called off. Naturally, with the coronavirus starting to spread across all sports, more leagues and competitions have continued the trend of putting everything on hold. So with the NBA, NHL, MLS and March Madness all suspended and the MLB's season opener delayed, the US have called the 12th of March the day the sports world stopped. Quite right. Next week's UEFA matches have also been postponed, so that means no Champions League and no Europa League, not even behind closed doors. France's top two football leagues, Ligue 1 and Ligue 2, have been suspended until further notice. Golf's first major of the year, the Masters, has also been called off, adding to the PGA Tour suspending all play. England's Test series against Sri Lanka has also been postponed, and the Giro d'Italia in May has also been pushed back after Hungary, where the race was set to start, declared a state of emergency, making the Tour of Italy the biggest cycling event to be called off. That's your sport for now. Thank you very much for watching.